Do you want to get to the root cause of your PCOS fertility struggles? Are you tired of getting dismissive fertility information from your doctor? And do you see pregnancy in your future, but honestly, you're a little nervous if it happened right now? Because with your irregular cycles, you're concerned about miscarriage. Do you want to be your healthiest as you move towards getting pregnant so you can have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby? Well, if that's you, then this podcast is exactly for you. Hi, I'm your host, Dr. Angela Potter. I'm an integrative PCOS fertility doctor, and my expertise is just that, helping you get to the root cause of your fertility struggles and creating a holistic plan that allows you to feel the healthiest that you can be to set you up for optimal fertility. If you are a new listener, welcome. I am overjoyed to have you here in this community. And I also want to acknowledge you for showing up here because there are so many podcast episodes out there that you are choosing to listen to this one, which shows so much about your dedication to turning around your PCOS, turning around your fertility so that you have the best chance at getting pregnant with PCOS. And I think it is so cool that you've showed up here today. Be sure to subscribe here so that you stay updated on all the new episodes that come your way, because if you're committed to getting to the root cause of your fertility struggles, these episodes are going to be key for your momentum. So right now we are in the Christmas holidays. Me and my family, we celebrate Christmas. And so new episodes are going to come out in January. But I have some really great episodes from earlier this year that I wanted to be sure to put out again in case you missed them. So this is a perfect time to listen to it for the first time. If you already listened to it back when it first aired, this is a perfect time to re-listen to it because I have got some important information about fertility treatment plans and about sperm testing for you. Lots of cool things coming your way in the new year. Enjoy this episode that I've got for you today. Today we're talking about a common problem that I see with PCOS fertility of being recommended ovulation induction medications like letrozole, also known as Femara or Clomid, at the very beginning of the fertility journey. Now, as we get started, I want to put a big disclaimer out there that I am not anti-medications. That's not what this episode is about. But there are issues with that picture and with that step-by-step process of starting with the medications that I see so many women get stuck on. And so it's not that the fertility medications are bad. They are very helpful for many families and in many situations. But as you'll see, as we're talking today, the big issue is that they're being used at the wrong time in the fertility process. So these ovulation induction medications, letrozole and Clomid, are medications that you take and they basically help push the egg out of the ovary in order to then help, create that initial cascade to help with pregnancy. Now, you'd be thinking like getting the egg out of the ovary. I mean, isn't that the goal? Can't that be the be all end all of my fertility treatment? And I wish that I could tell you yes. I wish that I could say, yes, just take this one pill and all of your pregnancy dreams will open up. We know there's such good research behind these medications. 100% of the time, they are helping women get pregnant. Gosh, do I want to be able to tell you that. But we know that those kind of statistics are not out there, that these medications are not the golden ticket to helping you get pregnant with PCOS. If they were, then you would be pregnant by now, and you and I would not be having this conversation. So if you're in that situation where you've been trying to get pregnant for the past few years, your periods are all over the place, you haven't had any positive pregnancy tests, and you go in and talk with your doctor and they say, okay, let's get you on a timed intercourse cycle with letrozole. And they say, this is the path forward. We are going to get you on these medicated cycles. I can give you 5 rounds of these cycles and we're going to see what happens with each of those rounds. So that is the most common fertility medication recommended for PCOS, for someone who's trying to get pregnant with PCOS right now. The big issue with that I see as those medications being chosen as that very first line of treatment for fertility is that they do not treat everything that's going on with PCOS that's setting someone up for having fertility struggles. These ovulation induction medications, they do just that. They are focused on the hormonal cascade that gets the egg out of the ovary. Again, really great. Like that is one of the goals. If you're trying to get pregnant, you've got to get that egg out of the ovary. And PCOS does set people up for having ovulation struggles. And those eggs they stay stuck in the ovary. So yes, of course we want the egg to come out of the ovary. But if you are taking one of those medications and just pushing that egg out of the ovary, and yet you have these other issues going on in the body, other hormonal imbalances, nutrient deficiencies, your body is not primed for pregnancy. And there is a whole cascade that has to happen. It's not just about pushing the egg out of the ovary. The egg has to have the amount of chromosomes that it needs to be a mature egg. It needs proper hormones and nutrients to connect with the sperm, to implant into the uterus, to then continue forward and developing this baby. So there's many steps. With PCOS, there's multiple things that are going on that are setting someone up for not being able to get pregnant. And when we stay hyper-focused on getting that egg out of the ovary, we're missing this global picture of what is happening. These fertility medications, they do not treat everything that is happening in the body. They do not lower blood sugar levels. We know that elevated blood sugar, elevated insulin is really common with PCOS. Yes, it doesn't happen with everybody, but if you are somebody who has PCOS and has elevated insulin and your doctor is not talking to you about that, not helping you with a nourishing nutrition plan, not helping your body's blood sugar levels to come back down into regular rhythm, and yet they're just giving you this medication to shoot that egg out of the ovary, that's not setting you up for success. These medications do not optimize egg quality. Even if the egg is pushed out of the ovary, if it hasn't had the right number of nutrients and antioxidants in those months prior to ovulation, that are allowing it to grow into this healthy, mature egg that it wants to be in, then even if it does come out of the ovary, it's again not setting you up for success. It doesn't have the right building blocks in order to then move forward to help you have a healthy pregnancy. These ovulation induction medications do not do anything to regulate thyroid levels. Thyroid levels are not a part of PCOS, but I will say that they are one of the most common co-issues that I see with women with PCOS. And so if you happen to be someone who has hypothyroid, low functioning thyroid, or you have thyroid antibodies and you are just pushing that egg out of the ovary and nobody is helping you to get those thyroid hormones and antibodies back into where they're supposed to be, you're not setting yourself up for success. These ovulation induction medications do not increase progesterone levels in your body. And that's really important because if the egg is pushed out of the ovary and you're able to implant and get pregnant, if you do not have adequate levels of progesterone, then you can't keep that pregnancy going in the first trimester because it's the whole first trimester that your body's production of progesterone keeps that pregnancy going. It's in the second trimester that the placenta takes over that job of producing the progesterone. But that first trimester, that's really important to have adequate levels of progesterone. And if you already are having irregular cycles and you're not ovulating rhythmically on your own, then we already know that those progesterone levels are low and need to be evaluated. And so if you are, again, taking a medication that's pushing that egg out of the ovary and not getting the progesterone levels checked and monitored and supported, then you still have these missing links that could be keeping you from getting pregnant or keeping that pregnancy going, even if you try that ovulation induction medication. So do you see how these medications, yes, they are very important for somebody who can't get that egg out of the ovary, but if that is the very first thing to try in the fertility journey, and you still have these other issues, elevated blood sugar, low thyroid function, low progesterone, poor egg quality, these other issues happening in the body, then your fertility is still staying low, even with this medication. And you're here because you want to get to the root cause of your fertility struggles. You want to be understanding, okay, what can I be doing to optimize my health and to take care of issues that are keeping me from getting pregnant? Because I've been told that my labs are all fine, but if my labs are fine, why am I not pregnant yet? And you really want to get to that root cause of what's keeping you from getting pregnant. While these medications can be helpful in the fertility journey, they do not, in the beginning, solve that issue of getting to the root cause of your fertility struggles. And they could be helpful at some point in the process, but in this early time of you initially going to see a doctor, being like, okay, I do need to take care of whatever is going on with my PCOS, these medications, when they're being used in that very first line, these other issues in your body are not being evaluated and addressed. That's keeping your chances of getting pregnant and staying pregnant. So let's talk about two different scenarios. Scenario number one is that here you are, you've got PCOS, you haven't had a positive pregnancy test over the past 6 years, and you go in and talk with your doctor. And they say, okay, you haven't gotten pregnant yet, you have PCOS, we're going to put you on a round of letrozole. Timed intercourse cycle, you try that cycle, it doesn't work. So you go talk to your doctor and they say, let's do it again. You do another cycle, doesn't work. Next cycle, they say, okay, let's try letrozole and Clomid together. You try that, doesn't work. Then they say, we're moving forward to an IUI. Same medications, but you do an IUI. Doesn't work. Try it again, doesn't work. You've done that a total of 5 times. And now your doctor is saying, well, we can't do anything else for you. The only path forward is IVF. Okay, that's one scenario. Now let's think about scenario number 2. Is that here you are, you've got PCOS, you have irregular periods, you haven't been able to get pregnant in the past 6 years. Okay, so same starting place as you were in scenario number 1. You go to a doctor who says, hey, all right, let's figure out your PCOS type. Let's look at these comprehensive fertility labs that are going to help us understand all these different hormone systems in the body, what's going on with them. We're going to look at nutrient levels and get dialed in on where you're starting from. And they work with you to help you develop a nourishing fertility food plan. And you get egg quality supported, and you talk about gut health, and you lower the toxin load in your body. You figure out what your hormones are doing, and you regulate those in the body so then they are working rhythmically and they are supporting your natural fertility and getting you back into regular cycles and having ovulation. And you're getting this holistic fertility plan that's addressing your body's needs. How are the outcomes going to be different in those two situations? And which one of those scenarios is getting to the root cause of fertility struggles and creating a plan that's addressing and optimizing fertility health? I will let you answer that question because this is your journey. It needs to be right for your body and your family. And you are here because you want to get to the root cause of your fertility struggles. If you're in that situation and you've been to a doctor and talked about this possible scenario of moving forward with round after round of one of those ovulation induction medications, and that just doesn't sit right with you because you want to optimize your fertility health before seeing if you need one of those medications. You know that those medications are not a guarantee, and you want to make sure that your body is really healthy and, potentially getting pregnant naturally. I do see that in my practice. Or you've set your body up for this optimal health before trying one of those medications and then seeing how that's different when you try one of those medications. And so if you are currently going down that scenario number one, just trying round after round of different ovulation induction medications, and you want to know what other answers there are, you can move down into scenario number two, where you are getting that holistic fertility plan and you are identifying, working with a doctor who is able to put the PCOS pieces together, can identify for you what your hormones are doing, what nutrients are out of balance that's keeping you stuck, and optimizing your fertility health. I do this through my PCOS fertility protocol, and I work with women to first identify what's keeping them from getting pregnant. And then we create a fertility plan that's specific to those needs that came up in order to get them to a place where they have optimal fertility health, where their cycles are getting regular, they're starting to see ovulation, again, potentially getting pregnant naturally, which I see, or they just need a fertility medication to just get them over the hump at that point. So if you want to move into scenario number two and you want to figure out that root cause of what's keeping you from getting pregnant, and you want to do that work to optimize your health because you understand that fertility health is whole body health, then your first step is to sign up for a free PCOS fertility breakthrough session with me. This is a free call where you and I are going to talk about your unique situation, because with PCOS, you have got to get dialed in on your unique needs, what's keeping you stuck, and what your body needs in order to unlock fertility. Because your needs are going to be different from your friend's needs. And that's going to be different from the woman down the street, her needs. And so the single most important next step that you can take is to hop on one of those free calls with me. And we are going to talk about your situation. I am going to help you get clarity on what these missing links are, on what is keeping you stuck. And I'm going to help you see how to move into scenario number two, what your body needs in order to set up this optimal health for you to turn around your fertility. So you can sign up for one of those at drangelapotter.com/PCOS. As we wrap up here today, I want to remind you that this podcast is for informational purposes only. And the only way to get information specific to your fertility needs is to book one of those breakthrough sessions with me to talk about your specific situation. And if nobody else has told you this today, I want to be the one to tell you that I believe in you and I believe in your ability to turn around your fertility and have the best chance at getting pregnant with PCOS.